Regression is a bitch, but we kick off a new week with Monday Night Football where we've got a side and 2 player props. Hey there everybody, welcome on into this episode of Winning Bets. It's Jason Mattis, of course, giving you guys free sports picks each and every single day. And thank you for kicking off a new week and kicking off a morning with me here. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Good weekend here in Chicago, even though it was a little bit of rainy. We got our son's haircut for the first time. It was a good, fun experience. I thought I was going to go in and be one of those bad just experience, but thankfully I think there was another little kid getting his haircut right next to ours. I think he helped our son. It was a good experience. He looks good. Got his first cut, a fresh cut. My man's looking good. So yeah, just a good fun weekend up in here. And again, I hope you guys had a good, fantastic weekend. Let's go ahead and recap last week, and then let's talk some Monday Night Football, where I think we've got a really good game going on between those Raiders and Chargers tonight. All right, as you guys can see right there, bad week overall. We went 16-24 and down 9.71 units. Still a good stretch overall in those 25 weeks, but we've been profitable 19 of those 25 weeks, where we're up plus 106.99 units. And now year to date, still a lot of wins, still a lot of losses, and a lot of profit at plus 84.50 units. Hate last week though. 2 weeks ago we went 31 units, and you're going to regress a little bit, but boy, to come down like that was just absolutely painful. A lot didn't go our way. Some did go our way though. Some of our notable wins from last week, we hit that Ajax -1 in that first half in that Champions League, where they got a late goal, I think it was in that 42nd minute to cash that bet. So that was an exciting win for us right there. That same day we hit Liverpool on that money line against FC Porto, dominated FC Porto. Probably could have taken them on the Asian handicap, but got a good win there nonetheless, I think at -115, so that was a good cash for us. What about Mitch Keller? Our last time fading Mitch Keller. I know we pitched on Sunday, but I stayed off of him because last day of Major League Baseball is just silliness and craziness. And I thought maybe that the Pirates were really going to push and try and go for a win, and if he got in any trouble, they were going to pull him. And that's exactly what happened. He only pitched 3 innings, so that was a good layoff on Sunday. But we definitely rode him there at midweek over on his total. He went way over that, so got a good last cash on Mitch Keller. And then also Thursday Night Football, Jags-Bengals, under 46 points. Game came in at 45, so that was a good cash and a good sweat for us right there. It's always good to get in a good sweat and get in a good cash. Obviously, if we had more losses than wins, a lot didn't go our way. What about that Palace draw no bet? That wasn't a loss. We certainly got our wager back, but that one felt like a loss. Boy, to give up a goal in the 95th minute on a nice plus 120 cash, ooh, that one was robbery from us. We got robbed on that one. That was literally the start of our week. That was the first bet of our week. That was a sign that maybe we were going to have a bad week, because that was a brutal beat there in the 95th minute. PSG over 2.5 cards. That one didn't come home for us at all, as they only got 1 card right there. Giants team total, they only scored 1 run in that game. Chris Sale, the winning pitcher. He was the winning pitcher until he wasn't the winning pitcher. The Orioles were able to get to him late in that game. Our first real bad week there in the Premier League. Struggled in the Premier League, which hate to see that, given how much I love soccer, and we've been crushing the Premier League so far this season. But yeah, we were looking good on Saturday until Southampton picked up a red card. And then, Chelsea banged 2 goals against 10 men Southampton, so that one crashed for us. Wolves, Newcastle, that one didn't go up under 2.5. Rafinha didn't have 2+ shots on target. Took all the shots. And I think he ended the game with about 6 shots, but couldn't find any of them on target. That was heartbreaker right there. Their only soccer win was Norwich not being able to find the back of net, and that was a good plus 170 cash right there. So yeah, Norwich has been absolutely struggling. Look to probably make that bet again up against a Norwich team that is just struggling absolutely. And Spurs Villa, that was another one of our soccer losses. That one didn't stay up under 2.5. And then the struggles really just carried on into the NFL. Another really first bad Sunday that we've had that I can recall, going 7-10. We lost the first drive punt parlay. Giants, Bears. Oh, that was gut-wrenching. We said that game was going to be tied after 0-0. Bears get an opening drive touchdown. The Lions are first and goal, and they fumble the ball. That was brutal. And then the Lions really kind of never kept it close. The Bears really had a good, comfortable lead in that. We did a 3-legged parlay. Chiefs, Titans, Bills. Obviously, the Titans were the team that didn't get the win in that one. Just heartbreaker. I mean, I know the Titans' injuries, but still, it's the Jets, and the Jets have been a dumpster fire so far this season, and Titans just couldn't quite get it done. Bucks -6, couldn't get it done. Brady looked terrible. Brady looked so bad. I don't know if it was the emotions, the weather, the combination of both of those, but boy, Brady just did not have it last night at all. They got the win, but they did not cover the spread right there. Antonio Gibson over 15.5 rush attempts in the NFL. that was tough because he took his normal load. He was definitely the lead back. He had twice as many carries as J.D. McKissic in a close game. You think that's going to hit, but he fell a couple short, so that one didn't hit. Josh Allen didn't throw for 3 touchdowns, settling for too many field goals in the red zone to the Bills up against the Texans squad. They even went for it a couple times. But, yeah, just too many field goals. Too many field goals in the red zone. He only ended up with 2 touchdowns when he needed 3. Brady, of course, didn't throw that touchdown in the first quarter. Our only NFL wins, of course, we got a couple on Monday night. Or we got one on Monday night. We got a couple on Thursday. Our wins on Sunday, though, we did a Chiefs-Packers moneyline parlay, so that was a good one right there. We also did Emmanuel Sanders to go over his receiving total. That one cashed in the first half. That was relatively easy. We also did Mike Gesicki to go over his receiving total. That one was a sweat. For whatever reason, they weren't throwing his way, and then all of a sudden they did throw his way, and he went way up over it. Got, I believe, up in the 50s, so an easy cash right there, but made us wait for it. And then Davis Mills up under 33.5 yards for his longest reception. I think he only threw the ball. I think the Texans, and I'm going off memory, I was looking at the stats late in the fourth quarter. They may have only thrown the ball for 100 yards total in that game. I mean, obviously they lost 40-0. They got their ass kicked. He may have only had less than, if he had more than 100 yards passing, it might have been like 102. Like, they got killed, and he was nowhere near his longest pass being over 33.5 yards. I think his longest one, I did look at his longest one, I think it was 16 yards. Bills defense, absolutely dominant right there. So an annoying week and a tough week, one that, everyone has when they bet, but the key is to make it not turn into 2 weeks, and that's obviously what we'll do here is, you got to turn the page, and you don't like it. It was ugly. It was brutal. Still sore from that bad week, but don't let 1 week become bad 2 weeks, and that's what we'll do here, and we'll look to right the ship right there. Who cashed Giancarlo Stanton? Who cashed that future bet with me? I found out over the weekend a couple of other you guys cashed that with me. So who cashed this thing with me? Giancarlo Stanton up under 38.5 home runs. He ended the season with 35. Boy, we had a sweat. We had to work for it. We looked like we were going to cruise to a nice victory. And then he caught absolute fire through the months of August and September, and he made us sweat it all the way up to the end. But drop a comment on this video if you cashed that future bet with me up under 38.5 home runs. I know one of you grabbed it up under 37.5 home runs, so I'm glad to see that you also got that cash. But again, I learned up over the weekend that a couple of you other got that cash with me. So if you did cash that with me, just drop in a comment. Let me know. Hopefully you celebrated last night. I definitely celebrated last night. Took me a nice little cold drink on the rocks right there and got a nice little celebration because we had a sweat and it always feels good. But I don't know how you guys view future bets, but if I make a normal bet, and let's say you're going to bet, let's say you bet on Chargers tonight, you put $50 on it, it's like minus 110, so bet 50 to win 45. If that bet cashes, I look at that as just winning $45. I don't look at that as winning 95 because it's just such a short-term investment. But this one right here, you put up the money in March and you don't get the return back till October, I don't look at that as a $385 win. That's an $885 win to me. I get the whole thing. I consider that a whole win just because the length of the investment. Yeah, that's all of that thing coming back right there. All of it. So monster win for me personally. And again, it was nice to find out that a couple of you other cashed over the weekend. So just drop a comment in this video. I'd like to know that. So we deserve it. Nice, good cash. We'll look to see if maybe we run that back next year because that's only cashed once in his entire career and never as a Yankee where people talk about, the short porch in right field. Nah, he's never cashed as a Yankee. That cashed when he was a Marlin. I believe he had 57 home runs was the number. Maybe he was the MVP that season when he hit 57 home runs. But either way, it's only cashed once in his career. Big home run guy. And he didn't even get injured this season. The guy's been injured a ton his last few years as a Yankee. We got a nice cash. So, yeah, we'll see what number they give us next year. We'll put together. We can probably do more the future bets than one because now we have a whole season's worth of data. Remember, we only did one because of the whole pandemic and it was hard to make projections. So, look, that was fun. We'll look to run some future bets again back next year. And MLB playoffs obviously start this week. Exciting finish there up over the weekend. All right, let's go ahead now and turn the page. The Monday Night Football. Again, I told you guys in the opening they got one side and 2 player props for you. The side bet I already gave out to you guys yesterday on Twitter. We're doing the Chargers minus 2.5, and I parlayed that with Bills money line just to reduce the juice and got that at minus 118 at Bet Rivers. If you didn't see that tweet over the weekend, just find anything you want or just, take the Chargers minus 2.5. It's not like there's a ton of juice, but if you do want to reduce it, go ahead and find you got something that you absolutely like I absolutely like that Bills, if you want to go ahead and reduce that juice like I did down to -118. But I think this is gonna be a good game, folks. This is gonna be a really, really good game. The Chargers have a key advantage that I really like in this game, and it's their offense third down conversion percentage. The Chargers are second in the league in converting third downs at 54.76%, where the Raiders are eighth. They're not too terribly worse, but they're at 46.51%. Points per game allowed, the Raiders allow 24, where the Chargers are only allowing 20. Otherwise, if you look at the stats, whether it's turnover margin, opponents' yards per completion, even penalties per game, rushing yards per attempt, these are teams are neck and neck in a lot of these stats. A couple of those that I gave out specifically, the ones that stand out. But you start looking at these stats, these two teams are neck and close. This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be really high scoring. I think it probably goes up over the over of 51.5 points. You've obviously seen some good football from both of these teams. I think the Raiders have been more on the luckier side, going to OT there against the Ravens, going to OT there against the Dolphins. So maybe, on the road here Monday night against a good Chargers team, good defense. They have obviously a great young up-and-coming quarterback there in Herbert. I think their time is going to come, and they're going to go ahead, and get a loss. They're obviously 3-0. They went into Heinz Field and got a good win, but this Chargers team's good. Not many teams can go into Arrowhead up under the Patrick Mahomes era and get a victory like the Chargers did. A good victory up against that Chiefs team. So, yeah, I think the Chargers will pull it off tonight. It'll be a close game, but I do believe we'll go ahead and get that under 2.5, or not under, the point spread of -2.5. It'll hit. It could be uncomfortable. This is going to be a good football game, but the Chargers will go ahead and pull out that victory. So we'll go ahead and do that side with that Bills total throw in there just to go ahead and help us out. And then 2 player props. Both of my player props, I got one for a Charger and one for a Raider. Both of them have cash in all 3 games so far this season. So let's see if both of these players can't stay hot in their respective stat and cash for a 4th time for us. First one, let's go ahead and look at this Chargers player. Let's go ahead and take Justin Herbert over 36.5 passing attempts at -125 over at DraftKings. Again, cashed in all 3. He's averaging 42 passing attempts on the whole season. The Raiders, if we look at what the Raiders did, they allowed Jacoby Brissett to throw for 39 passes. Roethlisberger threw for 40 passes, and the one game that didn't cash was Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson is just not a thrower. He's only gotten 37 plus and twice in his last 34 games. So he's just not. I mean, we know the Ravens. Obviously, it's a running offense. So yeah, teams that don't come in and just run heavy, this bet has cashed up against them right there. Again, the game should be high scoring over at 51.5 points. So that leads you to believe that there's going to be a lot of passing right here. The Chargers' rush offense ranks 26. So there's a reason why this is a pass-heavy team, because the offense, from a rushing standpoint, is damn near towards the bottom of the league at 26. So they lean on Justin Herbert, and there's a reason they lean on this kid. He's a fantastic quarterback. He's a good one. He's a good young one. You're going to be talking about it. This is a passing team. Again, it's cashed in all 3 games. So give me up over 36.5 passing attempts, and we'll take Justin Herbert at -125 over DraftKings. Then the other one we want to do that's cashed in all 3 games is how about Hunter Renfrow over 46.5 receiving yards at -117 over at BetRivers. Again, cashed in all 3. He's averaging 68 yards per game. His lowest game had 57. His other 2 were in the 70s. So easily gone up over 46.5. If whenever you watch this video, if you go ahead and get it and it's gone up maybe a couple yards or 2, or maybe it's at 50.5, still feel comfortable and get it. He's easily gone up over this in all 3. He's the guy on this team. Look, he's second in team in targets. Second in the team in targets. So Derek Carr is obviously looking his way. He's had a big play in every game. And a big play is measured in the NFL by 20-plus yards. And he's had a big play in every single game. So like that right there. The Raiders are averaging 400, or the Raiders are throwing the ball for 405 passing yards per game. Again, another good a passing team, right? Jacobs has been down. I know he's probably going to come back, but they're a passing team. There's a reason they're a passing team. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. They got good weapons. They got a Renfrow. They got Waller. I thought about making a Waller bet, but put off on him, because when you look at this numbers with Renfrow and how it's cashed so easily in those 3 games, and they got this number in the upper 40s, yeah, this one was a no doubt, no-brainer. Just go ahead and bet it. And again, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Total's at 51.5. I think this is going to be a high score. I think the game does go over 51.5 points. But one of these teams is going to probably touch 30, and the other one's probably going to touch upper 20s. It's going to be high scoring. All right, let's go ahead and hit you guys with that recap. We're starting off Monday Night Football, starting our week off right. We're going to do that Chargers -2.5 and Bills money line at -117 or -118. Take Herbert over 36.5 passing attempts at -125, and take Renfrow over 46.5 yards at -117. All right, guys, let's get back on it. Let's get back to our winning ways. It happens, but let's get back on our ways, and let's start it off with Monday Night Football. All right, guys, go enjoy your Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.